Welcome to Nightcap Yoga. It's Tuesday night. Hi everybody, I'm Connie Bowman for those who are not family or friends. There's a few of you guys out there. I'm anxious to hear who is out there. Let's see. I see Bruce, right? Is that Bruce? Nice. All right, so request for a good stretch. If there are no other requests, we will just get started. Oh, okay. Yay. Good stretch. Oh, after your run. Yes. There's nothing like a good stretch after a run, especially yoga. We'll do some stretches for runners. I love it. It's great. Okay, so I'm going to get started in a comfortable seat, and for me that means propping up my behind. It just elevates the hips so that I can sit up nice and tall, making space for the breath. So I encourage that proppage. So if you have a pillow, and also tonight I have two pillows. So last week I went with one and it just wasn't as satisfying, so I'm back to two pillows. So if you guys want to grab some pillows, blanket. And we'll start with some meditation. So if you need to run and get some pillows, we will be here for you. So when you're ready, take a seat, crisscross applesauce or one leg in front of the other. And just let your eyes close so you can take your gaze inward. Some people don't enjoy closing their eyes, and that's fine. You can just soften your gaze, but I find that closing my eyes immediately takes me to a place of observation where I can pay more close, mindful attention to what's going on internally. So as you settle in, just notice what you brought to your mat, what's speaking to you. If you've just been for a run like Bruce, maybe you've got a few little tight muscles. See if you can maybe wiggle around and get even just like 10% more comfortable. And then notice your mind. So at the end of the day, sometimes it's more of a challenge to find stillness. Notice if your mind's racing in many different directions, and know that that's okay. You're human. That's what happens to us humans. And just make a pact with yourself not to be judgmental if during this time of meditation, stillness, and centering, you find your thoughts intruding in your practice. That's the whole purpose of the practice. So smile to those thoughts and then come back to the observation of your breath. Notice the temperature of your air, of the air. Notice that sensation of air on your skin. If you can feel the clothes on your body. Notice sounds in the distance. And sounds closer in to you. Begin to notice the sound of your own breath. Notice the natural breath that is happening without even having to think about it. It's kind of a miracle, really. Our heart continues to beat, and our breath flows in and out without any energy on our part, really, consciously. So let's change that. Let's flip that script and bring some awareness to the breath. Softening the belly. Inhale through the nostrils with a closed mouth. Fill up the belly, the ribs, and the chest. Pause at the top of the inhalation, and then leaving your lips together, exhale out of the nostrils slowly, letting the air just slowly leave the body. And then pause at the bottom of that exhalation, belly drawing into spine. And begin again, inhaling, filling up, and exhaling, letting go. Good. Inhaling and exhaling to empty. Let's take a few more of these breaths, just finding some stillness, some quiet. And just noticing how many times you return to the observation of your breath. So over time, these mindfulness practices, meditation practices, and yoga practices can change our brains for the better. I interviewed a monk. His name is Gelong Thubten for my podcast on Friday. He wrote a book called A Monk's Guide to Happiness. And he talks about, in his book and on the podcast, just the many, many benefits of these practices. And how throughout the day, no matter what we're doing, we can focus only on the one thing that we are doing. Hopefully we're not doing more than one thing. Many times we are not. So throughout this practice, let's work on focusing on our body, and then also our breath. So we'll go between both of them. So when you're ready, blink open your eyes, bring your arms out, inhale like you mean it, and reach up toward the sky. Draw your hands down to your heart center, bring your chin to your chest. Reach up again, inhale, and then exhale, same thing. Third time, reach up, and exhale, hands to heart, chin to chest, and then release your arms out to the side. We'll inhale up, and then take your left hand over to the left and lean to the left. Look right. Inhale back up to center, and then take it to the other side. Good. Inhale up, reaching up, maybe leaning back a little bit, looking up, and then exhale, hands to heart, chin to chest. We'll take that again and add on. Inhale, reaching up, scooping up. And then exhale, lean to one side. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lean to the other side. Good. Inhale, reach up, look up, get long. And exhale, take your hands forward, finding a forward fold on the floor here. Just walking forward, maybe the chin comes to chest here. Take a full exhalation, and then on your inhale, rise back up, reach up. We'll take it another time, each side, just moving with your breath. I'll try to be silent. It's hard, but I will. Good. Inhale and exhale fully. And then inhale as you rise, reach up, and let your hands come down to your heart center. Good job. Awesome. So we already matched our breath with our movement. We've already begun our meditative practice. We're checking off all the boxes tonight. So I'd like for you to take your blanket or your towel, whatever you have, and fold it up in, like, let's see, what do I have? I have mine folded in quarters, and then take your quarters and fold them in thirds. So I don't know, if that's too complicated, just fold it so it looks something like that. And then place it on your mat about a third of the way down, maybe. It depends on how long you are. Let me demonstrate. So I'm going to bring my belly right on top of that blanket. It's going to be kind of weird because you're going to feel the blanket underneath your belly. It's going to give us a chance to practice this breath. And so once you get settled in there, maybe do the Sophie shake, shake your hips side to side, and then find stillness. Make a little pillow with your hands. And then we're going to practice the breath work, breathing into the belly with our belly on this blanket. If there's any pain involved, you might want to remove the blanket. But this might feel really good. It's good for digestion. It's so good for the belly. And we're going to breathe into this blanket and just feel as you press your belly in to the mat, the rising of the lower back. And exhale as your belly comes back into your spine and that lowers down. Inhale again. And exhale. Just get the feel of breathing with this blanket underneath your belly. I think it feels really yummy. It's super good for cramps if you ever have cramps. I hope you don't. And take a few more breaths here. And just notice if you're feeling any shoulder tension or jaw tension. Just see if you can let that go. As we take 2 more breaths here. See if you can allow your belly to even relax a little bit more. As you breathe in, fill up completely. And then empty on out. And then we're going to lift up and come into Sphinx pose, keeping that blanket right where it is. And draw your shoulders back and away, down from your ears, and shine your heart forward. You can close your eyes here. A little compression for that lower back. So breathing in and breathing out. So apparently Gelong, my monk's first name, means monk. So I called him Thubten. He said, "You can call me Thubten," which is, it looks like it's his last name. But he talked about how mindfulness practices can be anything from washing your hands, which we're all doing a lot of lately, just paying attention to all the sensory experiences that go along with that hand washing. So as you're putting the soap on your hands, notice the what the soap feels like in your hands. Notice the scent of the soap, if there is any. And notice the texture of bubbles, if it makes some bubbles. And feel the water, the warmth of the water, or the coolness of the water as you rinse your hands. Just really be present to every aspect of whatever it is, whatever activity we are doing. He says you don't necessarily have to slow down, you just have to pay attention. So let's take 2 more of those mindful breaths in this Sphinx pose. Paying attention to our lower back, paying attention to our heart space. And take the next breath. Make it the biggest and fullest one in the shape. And then on your exhalation, just lower back down. Bring your forehead to the mat and take your hands to either sides of the shoulders. Maybe Sophie, shake it out. And then we're just going to peel ourselves up, coming up through tabletop, just a brief tabletop. And then take your knees as wide as the mat. You can slide your blanket forward, or if you know you need a little something between your hips and your heels, you can take that blanket there. And then we're gently, slowly going to make our way into child's pose, just as a counter stretch for that little back bend that we started out with. So let your forehead descend toward the floor slowly, take your time, and then extend your arms long, walking your fingertips forward. And get a little stretch of the shoulders, upper back. And then release your elbows to the floor, just surrender in this pose. And take a few deep breaths here. Good. Nice long, full inhalations and complete exhalations, emptying completely. Just being aware of sensations. Being aware of thoughts that creep in. Noticing, are they of the past, the future? Come back to that present moment by bringing your awareness to your breath. Good. Let's take one more here. And let it go completely. And we'll slowly make our way up to tabletop. And this would be a great place, if you have sensitive knees, to place your blanket under your knees. Yeah, it feels good. And do the Sophie shake. Let the tops of the feet rest on the floor. Coming into table, just let the belly descend and lift your gaze, lift your tailbone. We'll come into that cow pose on the inhale. And then let your exhalation take you through that Halloween cat, that angry cat pose as you press the mat away with your fingers spread nice and wide. Inhale again, we'll send the belly down, chest up. And then exhale, round. So chin comes down to chest here. Stretch the back of the neck as you round. And then inhale. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. And exhale. We'll take a few more of these. Just getting all the kinks out of the spine. Good. And then come to stillness. Take a couple little Sophie shakes. And then we'll take some hip circles. So this is a good chance to start working out, especially those runners' muscles. Just go in one direction. Good. And then the other. Good. And then if your knees allow, come on up to sit back on your heels. We'll take a gentle quadricep stretch. Just notice how this feels. We'll take our hands behind us. Lean back. And lift your heart toward the ceiling, coming into a reverse table of sorts, but we're getting that little quadricep stretch. Notice how this feels. It's almost a camel, but not quite. And then as you're ready, slowly take your chin back down to your chest. We'll come forward. Place your hands just ahead of where they were in table and tuck your toes and lift your hips, coming into that inverted V shape, downward facing dog. So this might feel really nice. Take your accoutrement out of the way and begin to walk your dog. We'll get a stretch of the calves as we bend one knee and then the other. And then make this as big and exaggerated as you like. You can really move from side to side and get your hips involved. You can take your gaze under one arm and then the other. And eventually, we'll find some stillness. And take a breath here. Again, the fingers spread nice and wide, pressing into the joints of the fingers, especially the thumb and the first finger. Take a big breath in and keep both feet right where they are. Take that right hand over to the left ankle. See if you can reach around the calf or the shin and get a hold of it, and then take a little twist underneath this left arm. So it's a three-legged downward dog with a little twist, because we all like things with a twist, don't we? Notice your breath. Did it get a little choppy-minded? See if you can keep a calm, cool head about you. And breathe again. In and out. And as you do, just release that right hand to the mat. We'll just switch sides, so see what happens over here. Yeah, taking that twist, head under heart, keeping both feet pressing toward the floor. Breathe in. And as you exhale, take your left hand to meet your right. And then we're just going to come up on our toes and take a walk forward to the front of our mat, letting your hands just dangle here. You can let your palms face up and give your wrists a little break. And then just rock from side to side in this forward fold, bending the knees to give your back a little more comfort as needed. And then find stillness here. You might want to take your arms to your elbows and play with ragdoll. And just let your eyes close here. Find some stillness. Shake your head yes. And shake your head no. Find some stillness again. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. And be still. Take a nice big breath in as you root your feet into the mat and rise up, reaching all the way up, looking up. And then take your hands down to heart center. And just pause here, let your eyes close here. Draw those shoulders down, away from the ears. Full breath in, full breath out. Just noticing with your eyes closed the minor adjustments, the subtle adjustments that are being made without even having to think about them. So you might be swaying slightly from right to left as your body adjusts to being upright. And when you're ready, blink your eyes open, come into mountain pose. We love mountain pose. So in mountain pose, let's take a few shoulder rolls just to remind us of our good mountainous posture. So shoulders up and back and down, and then let them rest in that lower position, down away from the ears, as opposed to the scrunched position. Sin always calls it crunch. What did you call it? Unhunch. So we're unhunched, right? So chin parallel with the earth somewhat, right? standing tall. Inhale, reach up. Send those fingertips up to the sky and take a hold of your right wrist and lean to the left, making that C shape with the body. Good. Inhale back up to center and take the other side. Good. This is such a pretty time of night. Inhale, reach up, maybe open up into cactus arms, leaning back, squeezing those shoulder blades together. And then on your exhale, dive forward. Find your forward fold that feels good for you. Inhale, bring your hands either to your shins or to the floor and find that halfway lift. Good. And then exhale, take your hands to the floor and we'll step back just with our right leg. Lower that right knee down. We'll come into our first lunge for runners, since we had that runner's stretch request. So this is Anjani Asana. So we're leaning forward to get that hip flexor, psoas stretch. And this knee on the left leg can actually come forward a little bit of the ankle. Normally we want to line it up with the ankle, but in this case, it feels really good. So when you're ready, reach your arms up. Maybe look up. Good. And as you're ready, take your hands down to frame this left foot, tuck your right foot, lift back up. Let's come into downward facing dog. Take a breath here, let it go. And then look forward, come to your tippy toes, and either walk or bunny hop to the front of the mat. We'll start again. So forward fold, and then inhale to your Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, reaching up, looking up, and then take a hold of that wrist, lean in one direction, you choose. Inhale back to center, switch. Good. Inhale, reaching up, looking up, and exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come to shins, shoulders draw back. And exhale, take your hands to the floor, step back with the left leg. Lower that left knee, rise on up. Find Anjani Asana on this side. Lean forward, get that stretch. Feels so good. Good. Breathe in. Feeling the sensation. Exhale it out. And then inhale, reach up. Maybe look up. Good. And exhale, hands come to frame that foot. Tuck the left toe. Lift on up, downward facing dog. Yeah, take one breath here. Good. Relax that face, smile. Take a big breath in, lift that right leg up to the sky. Now this is going to be fun, I hope. And when you're ready, look forward, step it forward, bring it over to the right side of your mat, and take your left foot, spin it to flat at an angle on the opposite side. We'll come into warrior one. So reaching your arms up. Now here's where the bend in the knee is crucial to keep it over that right ankle, right? Good. Take a nice big breath in. We're going to try something. So we're just going to straighten this right ankle. Take that right arm down to the inside of the right foot. Lift the left arm up. Here we are in triangle. It's like magic. Good. Breathe here. Such an awesome stretch. Gets into a different little nook or cranny. Good. Breathe in. And then as you're ready, we're going to rebend, coming back into warrior two. Well, we haven't been there yet, so we're coming into warrior two, and then reverse that warrior two, reaching back. You can take this left arm around the body if you'd like, a half bind. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, bring your hands to heart center, and we'll take a twist around to the outside, bringing the elbow of the left arm to the outside of this right leg. You got it? We're going to try it again, so no worries. Twisting here. Breathe in and breathe out. And slowly unwind. Take your hands to the floor, slide your feet back, and lower all the way down, coming through your Chaturanga, rising up into Cobra, pressing yourself up, and then coming over those toes, lifting up slowly into Downward Facing Dog. Big breath in, nice breath out. Let's take another breath because we can. Steady ourselves. And on the next inhalation, lift that left foot. Let's try it on this side. Big breath in. And then take that left foot, step it forward on the left side of the mat, and then take that right foot, spin it to flat at the angle, and bring it over slightly a little farther than toward the right side of the mat. Reach your arms up. Warrior one. Not warrior, warrior, warrior. Good. And then as you're ready, we're just going to straighten that front leg and come into a triangle pose here. Yeah, that worked. So reach your right arm up, maybe look up. Left arm extends down. Good. Now notice how you feel. Keep the focus on the breath. And this pose, this shape. And then as you're ready, on your exhale, we're slowly going to rise up to Warrior Two, bending that front knee, arms reaching from the shoulders. And then reverse that warrior. Beautiful. Inhale. And then exhale, hands come to heart. And we're going to spin that back foot to face forward. Take that right arm, right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Good. Might be wobbly a little bit. No worries. We got this. Take a full breath in. Maybe twist a little more. And then as you exhale, take your hands to frame this left foot. Step on back, Downward Facing Dog. Good. So we've been through 2 of these. Let's ride through a Chaturanga because we can. So come forward through plank, come slightly forward, and then lower all the way down. Take the tops of the feet to the floor, and inhale, rise up to Cobra or Up Dog. Shine your heart. And then exhale, Downward Facing Dog. Good job. Take a full breath in. Reach your right leg up to the sky. And then look forward, send it forward, coming into that Warrior One again. So right leg, right foot toward the right side of the mat, left foot spun to flat, reach your arms up, rise up, press into the left side of that left foot. So you want all 4 corners of the feet pressing into the earth. Good. Take a nice big breath in, straighten that front leg. We'll come into triangle here, lifting the left arm up, right arm extends down. Good. Breathe here. Exhale it out. Bend that front leg. Come into Warrior Two. I act like we've been here before. Well, we have. And then flip that warrior. Reaching back. Good. And then we're going to spin that back foot forward, coming into our twisted pretzel-like pose. Good. Beautiful. And then as you're ready, unwind, bring your hands forward, and lift that back foot coming into a standing split. Yep, we're doing this. So the nose is coming toward the knee, the left foot is lifting. Good. Beautiful. And then as you're ready, step that left foot all the way back. Bring your hands to the left side of the right foot. Step on back, coming into Downward Facing Dog. Good job. We're going to ride that through. So come forward into plank. Lower all the way down. Inhale up through your heart opener. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good job. When you're ready, lift that left foot. Exhale to step it through, warrior one. Root to rise, reaching up. Sinking into that knee, but keeping that knee pressing toward the pinky toe and lined up with that left ankle. Right foot pressing into the floor, all four sides of that foot. Good. Beautiful. When you're ready, open up, triangle, straightening that front leg, reaching up and reaching down. Beautiful. Inhale. And on your exhale, bend that front leg, come back up, warrior two. Looking out over those fingertips. Nice strong warrior, arms at a T. And then reverse that warrior. Lean back, look up. Keeping that knee over ankle. Good. And then as you're ready, exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Spin your back foot so it's facing forward and take your right elbow to the outside of this left leg and twist. Good. I love this practice because the sun just gradually goes down. It's just so pretty. It's such a beautiful time of night. Breathe in. Breathe out. Slowly unwind. We're going to take our hands to the front of this left foot and press your weight into your left foot. Lift up, standing split. Also good for runners. Good. When you're ready, take that right foot down, take your hands to the mat, step your left foot back to meet your right, and we'll take 3 breaths here in downward facing dog because you deserve it. We deserve it. So press your heels back toward the mat, lift your hips really high, get that length in the spine that feels so good on our backs. Full breaths, emptying out. Good. Beautiful. Excellent. When you're ready, we're going to lift that right leg up high. Good. Open up that hip, coming into that fire hydrant pose. And then reach back up, 3-legged dog. And then draw that knee in to your nose, rounding your spine again. And then take that right foot, send it through, and take that left foot, spin it to flat again. We'll come into this fallen triangle. Good. Something of a side plank as well. Your obliques are noticing that, perhaps. And notice what happens as you start to wobble. If you're wobbling, maybe you're not. I'm projecting. See if you can keep your face soft, your breath smooth. And we'll just take one more breath here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take that left hand to meet the right. Go ahead and re-extend that right leg, 3-legged dog. And then we'll step it all the way through, coming up to crescent. Good. Rising up, crescent lunge. Big breath in. Nice breath out. And then take your hands to heart center. We'll take our twist to the right. Good. Breath in. Breath out. Good. When you're ready, unwind from your twist. We're going to come forward again. We're going to think about that standing split. We're not exactly going to do that, but we are going to lift our left leg up. We're going to press into that right leg, lift the left leg up, and peel that left arm up, coming into our half moon pose. So again, another little balance challenge with our head below our heart. You might want to flex that foot, lift it a little higher, opening up that left shoulder. And if you'd really like a quadricep stretch and you're feeling very, very fancy, you can reach back for that left foot and draw that heel towards your glute, opening up even more, stretching that quad. Big breath in. Long breath out. Good. When you're ready, step that left foot back. Take your hands to frame that right foot and step on back, downward facing dog. And then come forward into plank and lower down, halfway or all the way. Ride through your heart opener, and then exhale through into your down dog. Take a big breath in. Nice breath out. 2 more breaths. Good. Settling in. Slow and steady wins the race with this mindfulness game. When you're ready, inhale, lift that left leg up to the sky and open up the hips. Open up that hip. Doggy on a fire hydrant. Big breath in. Exhale. Re-extend that leg and then draw it in. Draw your belly into your spine round. Breath in. Breath out. Good. Send that leg through. Come into this fallen triangle. I'm sorry, triangle. Sorry for your fall. Let's see what we can do here. That left oblique starts to talk to us. Take a big breath in. Keep that smile. Exhale it out. We'll take one more breath here. You got this. Hey, you know what? Maybe you want to lift your leg if you really want to show off. And when you're ready, step it through, lift that leg up again, 3-legged dog, and then look forward, step forward, rise up, crescent lunge. Another good stretch for that hip flexor. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. When you're ready, hands come to heart center. We'll take that twist, keeping our cool, keeping it real. Breathe in. A heron is flying by. It's so pretty. Breathing out. Slowly unwind. Bring your fingertips to the floor. Think about that half moon and take that left hand to the floor. Left hand, fingertips to the floor or a block if you have it. And then lift that right leg up. Embrace the wobble. Try flexing that right foot. And maybe you look up toward that extended right arm. Deep breath in. Nice, long, slow breath out. And then slowly lower that right hand to the floor. You guys are nailing this, I can tell. Take your right foot back, take your left foot back. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Excellent. Excellent work. Take some breaths here. Walk your dog. Adjust your dog as needed. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. When you're ready, we're going to take one more lift of this right leg, 3-legged dog, and then we're going to send it through, drawing it up and taking that right knee behind that right wrist. And we'll set ourselves up for Pigeon Pose. So look back at your left leg, make sure it's as far back as it'll go, because this is going to give us that really juicy stretch. And then decide if you want to have a pillow to land on or your blanket. And then as you're ready, slowly descend toward the mat and find your pigeon stillness, where you can be still in pigeon. So you can make a little stack with your hands, or you can come all the way down. And then if this right hip is lifted and you've got a little prop, a pillow or a block, you can tuck it under that hip. And once you get there, let's find some stillness. And just breathe through this pose. See what we can let go of in this right hip. Deep breaths. Definitely help. And just notice if you're tensing in places that you might not even be aware of. So our heart starts to beat without our even thinking about it. Our breath moves in and out without our thinking about it. And likewise, our jaw tenses up without our thinking about it. We have a little more control than we think. See if you can soften the face. Good. We talked about this meditation practice and our mindfulness practices as more of a marathon than a sprint. We talked about, I don't want to give too much away because you should listen to the podcast because he was great, but he suggested, and I actually did this today, setting your timer to meditate, and then whatever you do on one day, just increase it a little bit the next day. So today I meditated for 7 minutes. So tomorrow I will go for 8. So little bits at a time are much more manageable than trying to sit down and meditate for 20 minutes. At first. Let's take 3 more breaths together. We can do this together. See if you can let go a little bit more. Release some tension in that hip. Soften where you can. Good. It takes a lot of practice to be still. When you're ready, slowly peel yourself up. And we'll tuck that left toe and just lift up to downward facing dog and walk the dog. Maybe take a few hip circles if that would feel good with that right leg. Good. When you're ready, that left leg lifts. Send it forward, left knee behind left wrist. Look back at that right leg. See if you can get it longer. See if you can get it longer and longer and longer. And then lift up. Shine your heart. Maybe even look up. Take a big breath in. And then when you're ready, slowly make your way to the earth, to the floor. We pretend it's the earth. And just pray. Stay with your breath. Stay with your smile. Good. So if you are interested in working with a timer, I recommend the Insight Timer app. I actually have some guided meditations on the Inside Timer, and I really like it. You can set the timer to ring beautiful bells or chimes or different sounds that are, most appealing to you. And I so suggest that. It's an easy way to keep track of the time. Notice what's happening in that left hip. Stay with the breath. Breathing in. And breathing out. Good. Notice if your shoulders are hunching. See if you can soften. And take the last 3 breaths here to just release wherever you can. Let go in that hip. Inner thigh. Good. And on this next breath, just make your way back up. Press your hands in, tuck that right toe, lift yourself up into downward facing dog, and then walk it out or rotate that hip, the left hip. Good. And then find some stillness in this down dog. We'll say goodbye to our dog for the night. And then we'll just make our way to the floor, coming into a seat. We're going to take our legs and stack them like so, coming into cow face pose. And then we're going to take our right arm, lift it up, and send it back to give yourself a nice little pat on the back. And then take your left arm out to the side, flip it, and see if you can reach it back and maybe grab a hold of your fingers, or maybe not. That might not happen. See what happens. One side usually works for me and the other does not. So we're just going to make a little nest with our arm. Close your eyes and breathe here. We are a little pretzel-y today, aren't we? That's okay. Fear not. So many people say they can't practice yoga because they're just not flexible. They're afraid of the pretzel. Don't be afraid. Embrace the pretzel. Let's be here for 2 more breaths. Keeping a lift in the chest. Good. And slowly release, shake that out. And we'll switch sides. So do what you can. Try to keep hips on the floor. If your hip, like my left hip, comes up a little bit, I can just take that blanket, tuck it under there, no worries. Lift your left arm up, give yourself that pat on the back, and then take your right arm out, flip it. See what happens if you reach it back. See, maybe your fingertips will touch, maybe they'll make contact, maybe not. It's all good. We're perfect just the way we are. Let's close our eyes and focus in, breathing. Excellent. Take 3 more breaths together. We got this. Together wherever we go. See, you think you have problems thinking thoughts when you're trying to meditate. I sing musical theater songs in my mind, so which is worse? Last big breath, fill up, and then let it go. Shake it out, roll your shoulders, swim around, and release your legs from their bondage. And then we're going to come into one last pose, seated pose. No, two. Actually, we have two. We're going to come into Badakanasana. And just notice, we've done a lot with our hips, so we might feel really open. We're going to go ahead and move into a forward fold, a calming pose, calming and cooling. So when you're ready, lift your heart, lift your gaze, shine. And on your exhale, just come forward. Find a place where you can softly land and just gently bow. And let your fingertips walk forward if you like, or keep them right at your feet. And once you get to that place where you're going to stay for several rounds of breath, just let your chin come to your chest, let the back of your neck slowly unwind. And close your eyes here, shoulders round forward. Swallowing in your throat to relax that throat. And see if you can just let your legs soften toward the floor. So in Badakanasana, there are different places you can place your legs. If you'd like to extend your feet out a little bit more, make your little diamond shape a little bit larger, you can do that. And you just move into different nooks and crannies. It's all about the nooks and crannies. But this forward fold is intended to soften, relax, and give our nervous system a chance to reset, preparing for our good night's sleep. Take a few more breaths here. And on your next inhalation, just begin to gently peel your way back up. And we'll keep our props close by as we come down to our backs. Slowly lowering down to the floor. Move my mic pack. And then hug your knees into your chest, my favorite. Rock from side to side. Take some of those circles, drawing circles on the ceiling. Do what feels really good. And then come to stillness, hugging those knees in, and we'll extend the left leg out long. Just keep that right knee hugging in toward that right shoulder. Maybe snuggle your shoulders underneath you. Take some ankle circles here. And go the other way. And then when you're ready, extend that leg up. Wave to yourself with your ankle, point and flex. And then hug your nose in towards your knee. Release your head and shoulders. Take a hold of the inside of this right foot. Open up your left arm and then open up your right leg out to the right, keeping that left leg on the floor. So if you happen to have your pillows here, maybe it's just a soft place, you can let them rest. Or open up those hips. Take a breath in and then slowly bring it back up. Take your left hand to the outside of the right leg, open up that right arm, and take it over to the left. Maybe turn your gaze to the right. Breathing in. Pressing that heel forward, breathing out. Good job. On your inhale, lift it back up, and then slowly lower it down. And just take a moment to pause here, noticing how the right leg feels compared to the left. Mine feels pretty darn good. Let's get the left one up there. Wave to yourself. And find stillness. Find that hamstring stretch that you like. And then take your nose up towards your knee. Take a big breath in. Exhale your way down. Take your left hand to the inside of that right leg. Open it up. Open her up. And take that right arm out. Take a gander over toward that right arm. Relaxing shoulders. Breathing in. Breathing out. When you're ready, inhale that leg back up. Switch hands. Come on. Take it across the body. Keep pressing that foot forward. Good. Nice long breath in. And then release that leg up. Take one more hamstring stretch. And then slowly lower it down. Finally, right and left, both feeling happy. Nice big breath in, bend your knees. Bring your heels up toward your hips. Take your hands to the floor, lift your hips, coming into bridge pose. Now, bridge pose can be supported bridge if you happen to have your blocks or your pillow. You can tuck your block under your sacrum and just come into a supported bridge. But if you'd like to practice full bridge, go ahead and clasp your hands underneath you and lift your hips. One more chest opener. One more opportunity to get our spine a little more juicy. We'll take one more breath in. And as you exhale, remove any props and slowly lower down. Hug your knees into your chest. Lift your feet up toward the sky. And I'm going to suggest if shoulder stand is in your practice, go for it. I can demo it. But if you have any issues with your neck, I don't recommend it. Shoulder stand is not for everyone, but it is really fun. So if you'd like to try it, hoist your hips up in the air. Don't look right or left. Look only toward the ceiling, your feet. You can snuggle your shoulders underneath you a little bit more. But if your legs are up and over your heart, you're doing a great service to your body. So no need to practice shoulder stand. But if you're in shoulder stand and you'd like to come into plow pose, join me, sending your legs up and over your head, toes toward the floor. If your toes reach the floor and you want to reach back and clasp your hands, go ahead, enjoy that. Take a big breath in, and if you're in plow, come into Deaf Yogi, draw your knees in toward your ears, and then slowly lower back down. If you're in supported shoulder stand or just regular legs extended, just release them down. And we're going to take our pillows, stack them up. Now, if you have a wall handy, everyone has a wall, right? If you have a home, if you're lucky enough, then you can take your legs and place them up the wall. I only have a window here, so if you have your pillows, stack them, take your legs across your pillows, take your arms out wide, let your palms face up, and then snuggle your shoulders underneath you. And then before we settle in, let's really explore some contrast. So let's make fists and tighten all the muscles in the body, including the abs. Tighten everything up. Tighten up the face, make a big face, scrunch your face, or open your mouth wide. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Get really tight, front to back, up and down, and then let it go. Big sigh out the mouth. Ah, good. Here's your Shavasana. This is your resting pose. We stretched a lot. We tried some new things, hopefully. Now let's rest. Soften the eyes, soften the jaw. Let the belly relax. Legs soft. Let those feet just fall out to the sides. Give yourself just a couple of moments to just be here. Slowly begin to deepen the breath. Make small movements with fingers and toes, and turn the head from side to side. And as you're ready, if you'd like to join me in a seat, just make your way to one side and just curl up in a fetal position. I like the fetal position, sort of signifies a rebirth. And then when you're ready, join me in a comfortable seat. Allow your eyes to close. And draw your hands to heart center. Take your chin to your chest, bowing to your own heart. Deep peace of the running waves to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Moon and stars shine their healing light on you. Deep peace to you. Thank you for practicing tonight. Deep peace. May you rest well. Namaste.